Hi, I'm Shaun Reynolds.
And I'm Rachael Reynolds.
And welcome to What Was I Made For?
The podcast about doing what you love and prioritising your happiness.
While we aim to inspire, motivate and entertain you, please note that we're not licensed therapists or certified experts.
So if you're considering major life decisions like starting a llama farm or quitting your job to become a professional skydiving instructor, maybe get a second opinion.
Enjoy the show.
See, I just do what I want, do what I love. I don't wanna stop, don't wanna grow up. Just me being me, don't follow the crowd. Don't be a sheep, look at me now. But now it's time to make more, create more. Looking at the points cause it's time to take score. Feeling like I'm grown now that I can face more. Got one question, what was I made for?
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Episode 2 of
What was I made for? Jigs.
You have to get better at that. 3, 2, 1.
What was I made for?
Yeah, I did notice in the last episode there was like a
Yeah, that was
shaky
you,
leg.
remember?
I know.
Sit still.
I know. Need to calm the anxiety.
That's a whole other episode.
Yeah, tell me about
Let's
it.
delve into Shaun Reynolds' brain.
Yeah, we don't want to go there. So, drink of choice today?
Drink of choice today is a 0%
Captain
Morgan's rum and Pepsi Max, I believe.
This is delicious.
Yeah,
if anyone
so
out
good.
there is looking to reduce their alcohol intake, Captain Morgan's 0% is a very, very
Highly
good.
recommend.
Well, for any rum drinkers anyway.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, today's episode is all about you, Mr. Reynolds.
Yeah, but one thing I noticed about the last episode is that although we said we wanted to go into it without any structure, kind of need to figure out where to send people. We didn't even mention, I don't think we even mentioned.
I think we did mention our socials.
But did we mention the usernames? Like, what is it actually called?
I don't think I know the usernames.
What was I made for pod?
What was I made for?
On
pod?
everything.
Okay. Yeah, we should. I mean, that is the whole point of these pilots, though. I reckon if anyone has stuck it out through the first 2 pilots, at least we know that they may be listening to you and me, which is a good start. But then by the time we have guest on.
Yes.
A guest on. Who's Geft? Have you asked Geft?
David Geft.
David Geft.
R.I.P.
What?
David Geft, he died, didn't he?
For real?
Yeah, not the big brother.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Is the big brother.
David's dead!
He's not. He's in the bedroom. Oh, my God. Oh, that's only the Big Brother fans that will get that.
Starting again, isn't it? Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, we do need a structure. We'll figure out a structure after the pilots.
I feel like we're currently figuring it out as we go.
Yeah, exactly. So,
But yeah, let's get into the meat.
let's. Shaun, what did you want to be when you were younger?
A little bit concerned about this because I haven't given this any. You told me not to give it any thought.
No, neither did I last week.
And we're just going to say it.
Definitely.
Off the
Otherwise,
top.
it's not real.
No, I know, but I've been because I actually don't know definitively what I wanted to be.
Okay, well, what?
But I do. Actually, no, that's a lie. When I was really little, I knew exactly what I wanted to be.
Which was?
A Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Wow.
When I was really...
How's that going for you? What happened? Oh my God. He's so excited about that.
I literally just spat all over the mic.
Oh.
Sorry everyone, if you got
Good
a
luck
bit
to the first guest coming in.
if you got a bit of residue in your ear holes then. Yeah, so I wanted to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, specifically Leonardo.
Okay.
Leader of the gang. Blue was my favourite colour, and he had 2 swords.
How
and
old
there's
were you when
nothing.
you realised this?
Oh, about 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
5,
glad.
6 years old. Then I went through a phase after that of wanting to be Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
I was a dreamer. My parents always told me I was a bit of a dreamer, wanting to just be fictional characters.
Did you know that wasn't possible?
Oh yeah, well I guess so. Yeah,
Okay.
but like I was a pretty what's the word? I wouldn't say challenging child. I would just say full of beans.
Okay.
So, for example, my mum and dad asked me what I wanted to do, like clubs and stuff after school, right? And I basically said yes to all of them. I was like, I want to do football, I want to do tennis, I want to do everything they had available. I wanted to do it, or at least give it a go. But my dad said the same thing would happen every time. I would go there and he'd be sat in this would be tennis, for example. He took me to the tennis club and he sat in the watching area that overlooked all the courts. And he said all of the kids would be sat listening intently to our tennis instructor, and I would just be behind them all, running around, swatting my tennis racket around, not learning anything, just because I had so much energy that I just probably pretending to be Sonic the Hedgehog, actually.
Yeah.
And that was kind of what I wanted to do. I just wanted to be
everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
I wanted to do everything, but then at the same time, nothing.
So would you say then that the Mutant Ninja Turtles and Sonic were like your heroes?
Oh yeah. Oh,
or do
yeah.
you? Okay, so next question then. Do you remember your first human hero?
My first human hero that genuinely changed my path through life. I feel like we're jumping ahead a bit now, but was Patrick Stump.
Ah, yeah, we are jumping ahead.
If people don't know who that is, that's the lead singer of a band called Fall Out Boy. And I remember the exact moment that I heard the band for the first time.
Okay.
Went to a house party, and the girl whose house it was playing a CD, and we were all playing cards around the table, I think. And she just had this CD on.
Sounds like a really good party.
It actually was a good party, but it was a daytime party, so there was loads of stuff going on. So it was like...
Okay, fine.
There was a CD player. Oh my God, yeah, they had a CD on in the background. And I just remember thinking, what song is this? It was a song called Sugar We're Going Down by Fall Out Boy. And I remember asking them, it's so cringe now, but I remember asking them, can you play it again? Can you play it again? Can you play it again? And we must have played the same song about 15 times.
What was it about that
fell
song?
in love. I don't know. The sound of it just,
yeah.
I was hooked. I think it was his voice. It was the music. I was already into like rock music anyway.
And was that the first time that a person in the music world kind of influenced you?
I mean, I would probably, like when I was younger, I used to have a toy guitar that I would dance around listening to like Elton John and Elvis and all that stuff. But that would just be music that my mum and dad were playing.
But you don't remember at that age when you were dancing around with the guitar or whatever, you don't remember thinking, oh, I want to be...
No, not really. I just used to perform.
Yeah.
I used to like attention.
Mm-hmm. So you don't remember...
Similar to you, actually.
Yeah, brilliant. So if it's true. If someone said to you at like a young age... What do you want to be when you're a grown-up? You don't remember the first time.
No, I probably would have said something that every little boy says, like a train driver or something that is so not thought about. You just don't even think about it, really. I definitely didn't. I didn't think about what I wanted to be when I grew up until I was older than like 18.
Okay, so talk me through then your part-time jobs.
So, because I was the way I was, my dad was very keen to... give me some structure. So he was like, you got to do what I did and get a job at a young age, earn some money, then you'll learn the value of having your own money. His cousin, I think, she ran a bar. I was a glass collector at 15 and I would be there from about 7 p.m. when the party started and leave probably at like 1 in the morning and just collect glasses all night and wash the glasses. That was my whole job.
Wow.
And then I got another job at All Days. Do you remember All Days?
Mm-hmm, I do remember All Days.
Yeah, so similar to like...
a news agent.
Yeah, like a co-op or something. So I was working and doing glass collecting until like 1 o'clock in the morning, going home, sleeping for a few hours, getting up in there for 6. But then I'd just sleep the whole day.
Did you find that hard as a 15, 16
I don't think so,
year old?
because I knew that I could then sleep for the afternoon and then go and see my friends that night if there was no work at the function hall place.
I don't think I got up out of bed before...
I don't think I wouldn't have chosen to do that. Oh, I don't know when this actually came into it, but I did do a shift with my dad at work at his.
And
work.
what does he do?
He's a builder.
Yeah.
The job was literally
go?
opposite our house.
Okay.
Right, it was opposite our house, and I think they were building a conservatory. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I did the mornings hard labour with my dad. Spent most of the time trying to avoid doing any hard labour because I just hated it. And then at lunchtime, I just said I wasn't coming back.
Wow.
I'm actually much better at like manual labour nowadays than I ever was as a kid.
Yeah.
I actually love it now, like DIY and all that stuff. I love it all. But then I'm a typical teenager. I just want to do
Yeah.
anything but. And
Too much
actually,
hard work.
glass collecting, that's easy. And standing behind a till in a newsagent's easy.
Yeah.
So I was a pot wash.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did bar work then for, in total, about 7 years. Yeah.
So you went to uni.
I did.
What did you do at uni?
Studied music. Well, it was actually music, tech, and media production.
Okay, so just before you get into uni, why did you choose to go?
Because my friend went.
Seriously?
Matt went.
Yeah.
The only thing I think this
So
you said
similar
this.
to me.
Yeah, you said this on the last episode. The only reason I went to uni was because Matt, my best mate Matt, he was going to an open day with his mum, and he just went, "What are you doing next year?" I think, and I was just like, I genuinely don't know. Actually, it wasn't next year. He was deferring a year, so he knew that he was going there to check out the course, but he was still going to take a year out. So he just invited me along for the day, so I went along, and I think I loved the uni, loved the whole atmosphere of it, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take a year out as well. But I didn't defer my place. I didn't even apply till the following year. But I knew that I liked Chichester as a place.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that sounds good. I'll do that as well. And plus Matt's going, so
Yeah.
we'll have a great time. And we did.
Yeah. All the way up to uni, you still have no recollection of really knowing what you wanted to do. Were you aware that like a career was a thing? Like you obviously did loads of...
Well, you want to know the story how I got into music in the first place.
Well, yeah.
So it was actually my girlfriend at the time. She had a laptop, a MacBook, and it had a bit of software on it called GarageBand. I remember opening it up being like, what the hell is this? And by then, I'd already been dabbling with like being in bands and singing in bands and all of this stuff. And I knew that I wanted to, I liked music.
Okay.
And I enjoyed being part of that, but I wasn't as talented like playing instruments as all my friends were. So I knew I wanted to be involved in music in some way, but I just didn't know where my lane was because I hadn't learned guitar since I was like 6 years old, like some of my other friends had. So I found this bit of software and I just started making music. And I had so many awful songs, and I think I've probably still got some. I think Ollie's actually...
I would pay.
I think
to
Ollie's
listen to
got
those.
some of them.
Excellent. Let's definitely get those.
On his old PlayStation. But yeah, so I remember I started making just really crappy music and just really loving it though. And then when I decided I was going to go to university a few years later, I was like, I really want to do music, but I had never studied it. I didn't do it at school. Well, I did it at, the year where you have to do music, but I didn't choose it for GCSE. Didn't choose it at A level.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it was all classical music. I didn't want to do classical
fair.
music.
Yeah.
I wanted to play I either wanted to be in a rock band or make pop music or just do my own thing. I didn't want to do curriculum-based music. I found that just so boring.
So what did make you choose your GCSE options then?
I
Was there any logic behind those choices?
love geography
Okay.
and I love history.
So you chose the subject you enjoyed?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I had an option not to do something I didn't want to do, I didn't do it.
It's such a simple way of thinking about it. Okay, so your girlfriend went on holiday, left you her laptop, you started making music.
Yeah.
You would say that was the first...
That was the catalyst for me being a music producer, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
So then that's when... But you obviously didn't think, oh, I have to go to uni to do this. Had you thought
No,
that
I
far
did.
ahead?
I did think
I'm getting the impression that you very much have lived...
in the moment.
Yes.
I have never
Planned
really
ahead.
thought ahead. I probably think ahead more now. But
I think that's probably because you have to a bit more now because
We
of
have
the
responsibilities,
responsibilities.
yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I think that's really
as a teenager, I was in the moment.
short answer to the question of what did you want to be when you were younger is you actually probably didn't
I didn't
even
know or
think
care.
about it. No
Didn't
or care,
know
yeah.
or care.
Yeah. Okay. So what did you
But
do?
I liked music.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay, so didn't really know what you wanted to be when you were younger,
But I did. I wanted to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
apart from a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
And I'll be honest, I failed at that.
I was just about to say, what do you do now? Imagine. I am.
Leonardo. No, I am a music producer.
I feel like the first thing that people say to you when you say I'm a music producer, they go,
Oh my
anyone
God, yeah.
anyone famous?
Yeah, it's one of the most frustrating questions when you're in the music industry is that everyone assumes if you're in the music industry, you're working with Beyonce or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, well, if you're a music producer, that means you have to work with someone in the top 40. But the reality of it is, it's just not like that. I mean, I've got friends who are working with people in the top 40, but also it's not necessarily where I want to be. If you would have asked me 10 years ago, yeah, I'd have said I want to be in studios with, I don't know, Pharrell, Rihanna, like all massive acts in the world. But 10 years down the line, I've done studio sessions with bigger artists before, and I don't enjoy it as much. I prefer things to be on my terms. It goes back to when I was younger. I don't like not being in control. So when you're in a session and it's all night long or till the early hours, I get tired. I don't want to be staring at a computer screen till like 5 a.m. and then going out drinking. That just doesn't appeal to me. That's how a lot of these studio sessions are run. People always say that their most creative time is in the middle of the night. That's not my most creative time. That's my sleeping time.
Yeah.
My most creative time is whenever the creative inspiration comes. There is no set time. What I love most in this world and what still gives me the biggest thrill is finishing a song and showing it to someone. You know,
It's probably amazing when it's not always me you show.
Yeah.
Because that can be a lot at the end of a hard day. Rach, listen to this track. Oh,
especially if it's one of my production music songs where it's like boom, keep boom, boom.
Yeah. Or even worse, when I come home and you're like, can I play you a song? And I'm like, I've heard this one. You're like, no. Listen to that different drum beat at 3 minutes 12.
It's always the snare rate.
Slightly different to what I played you
I've
yesterday.
EQ'd it differently this time.
Oh, whippity-doo.
You just don't. That's the thing. If you've been with someone for so long, you can only expect them to have a great reaction in the early days because they can't just keep listening to the same old stuff and constantly be like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" Eventually, your skill set is going to become like normal to them.
But it's crazy how that just proves why you're in the industry you're in. Because the way you listen to a song, even if it's on the radio, I'd love to put your ears on because it is crazy how I think I'm quite black and white with music. If you play me a song, I like it, I don't like it.
Yeah, I like it, I don't like it.
Does Beyonce sing it? I like it. No, but it's crazy because I reckon you hear songs completely differently to someone who's not a music producer because you can play a song to me that you've made and I panic because I think I love that, but that's all I can say about it.
Yeah,
and you're like, but why? Why do you love it? What part do you love?
But this happened recently when you try, it happens regularly when you try and get me to do dance steps to rehearse.
God.
To rehearse, to help you come up with choreography. You will get me to try and do, what was it you said the other day? A pas de bourrée?
Yeah.
Step ball change?
No, it was a, what was it? A balancé.
A balancé. And I was like, Rach, and you were like, yeah, and just do a balancé. And I was like, what the, what is that?
For someone who...
And then you film it, and then you watch it back, and you laugh at me, and you say, what is that? And I'm like, I'm not a dancer. What do you want me to do? Could you not do it with a little bit more finesse? No, I don't know what I'm doing. My body hasn't trained for this.
For someone who has so much rhythm...
Rach, I have rhythm. So you see me at the club, I can bop along to a song.
Your ears don't match your body.
Yes, but Rach, you got to understand, right? My body is like the muscles the really like little fine fibers in your muscles that are like, you talk about muscle memory all the time with dancers, right? Mm-hmm. That you learn a bit of choreography and it's just in your body then.
Yeah.
I don't have that skill.
No, but I'm not asking you to have that skill.
That would be like me saying, can you hear, I don't know, I'm going to try and put it as simple as I can. Can you hear when there's...
put it as simple as I can.
Can you hear when there's like no... less bass in this, or when the lower mids have been boosted.
Yes.
No, you can't.
Of course I can.
You can't hear EQ changes. I've highly doubt. Or if you did hear them, you wouldn't be able to tell me what they were. So it's just everybody has a different skill that they've practiced for so long.
Yeah, definitely. It's just when you're the only person here and I need to do some partner work, I don't have much choice.
It's just you not knowing.
I might as well dance with a chair.
Wait. It's just you not knowing about my job is way less embarrassing than me not knowing about your job. Because if I get up and I prove how little I know about dance, everyone's like, you're mate. If you come in the room and you go, oh, I don't know what that EQ does, everyone's like, well, yeah, and most people wouldn't. Dancing is just one of those things that either you're good or you're not.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a terrible dancer. I just don't think I'm very good at dancing like a professional.
If we do release this video, or whenever we release videos of the pod, we're obviously sat in a very nice studio right now.
Oh, thank you very much.
And I think it's...
built it myself. Why are you looking like you did anything in here?
I helped with the very first step of this studio. I actually helped.
Oh, can I just tell... Right, let's tell everyone what the first step of doing the studio was, yeah? Painting blackjack on the walls.
Yeah.
And you ruined a coat and gave up.
That is so not true.
That is what happened.
I did ruin the coat, but I didn't give up. I didn't. I don't remember giving up.
Rach, you were like, I'm not doing this. Look what it's done to my coat. I was like, look what you've done to your coat, you knob. Yeah, so whenever I say I built this place on my own...
no, do you also remember...
Ollie helped me more than you did.
Wow, that is so not true.
Yes, it is. He sliced his hand up in the process.
Yeah, see, I was on first aid duty. Couldn't have done it without me.
You didn't. You also didn't do anything when he cut his hand open.
I did. I told
you
him
let
to
him lie on the sofa.
I said lie down. Lie down. You look a bit pale. I'll get you a plaster. We should talk about YouTube. I can't believe we forgot about that whole section of your career.
I guess YouTube was like when I started making money.
How?
So what I will say is I did music production on the side of working at a pub for years. Putting out videos every week. Terrible videos with terrible
cover
music.
songs.
Of cover songs, because I saw on YouTube that it was a massive deal. Everyone was doing cover songs. You had like Boyce Avenue, Tyler Ward, who then became, who was a good friend of mine in the end. So I started doing it. Started putting out cover songs of like me singing them. And then as I started to get bigger on YouTube, I met more singers. And I was like, this is brilliant, because I want to record other people. That's like what I really enjoyed doing, is recording other people. I didn't really enjoy the singing part. I just did it because I was the only one. It was only me doing it. So then, started getting more and more people involved. And I finally started making some like AdSense, which is what you made from YouTube videos, like royalties from your views. And then I got offered to go to the Boyce Avenue show in London to meet a guy called Tyler Ward, who I just mentioned. He was quite big in the covers game on YouTube. And I just worked with his brother, so he was like, oh, come down to my London show and let's meet. So I met him backstage. We filmed a really funny video. We hit it off. And he invited me out to Colorado, like 2 months later. And I was like, this is incredible. Never been on my own to the States. Never done anything like that before. And when I got there, we were just in his parents' house, but he had this massive studio built in the basement. And I spent a week making music with just all these talented people that I had seen on YouTube. It was the dream, really. And I also met Prez. I met Black Prez while I was there, who is now one of our closest friends.
And that trip did kind of boost your subscribers, didn't it? And
so then people started seeing me in all of their content, and I was then known as being part of their kind of group. But then I got home and I was like, I don't have the group here anymore. So I remember emailing Tyler and saying, I just want to be doing this stuff all the time. And he said, okay, well, I'm actually on tour in Europe in a couple of months. How about you come along, sell merch, and you can just hang out with us for the whole time. That
was a month, wasn't it?
So I was out for a month. I was all over Europe for a month long in the back of a van, and was one of the most fun experiences of my life. And bearing in mind, I was selling merch, so I wasn't even doing music really. I was doing something I'd never done before, but I was making money, and I was also learning from all these people that were so successful. Yeah, and networking. And then Tyler, I remember being sat at a bar with Tyler, and he said to me, he said, look, if you want to do this, you need to go home, you need to quit your job. That's what he said to me.
Your bar job.
Your bar job. Mm-hmm. And I was like, how can I quit? Well, like, what am I going to... And he was like, all the while you are putting a lot of your time, like 40 hours a week or 30 to 40 hours a week in bar work. That is precious time that you could be putting into your YouTube career. Yeah. And he says, you've already got some subscribers. You're getting subscribers daily from just being around us. So put the work in, keep pushing out content, and you will be fine. And I remember on the flight home from the last day of tour thinking, I'm gonna be quitting my job tomorrow.
And this is while you were living with my parents.
This is while I was living with your parents.
I didn't have a massive income, I don't think, at the time.
I didn't have any. I would have had nothing.
For a place, yeah.
I would have had nothing to fall back on. So, scariest thing ever. I got back. I quit my job and went full time on YouTube, and didn't look back.
What were you made for?
I definitely think I can say I was made to create things. Mm-hmm. But, and actually I don't specifically know what I was made to create. Like I enjoy just making everything. You know me, I'm always creating videos, songs, everything. I just love it all. Just making stuff. Mm-hmm. But recently, as I'm becoming more part of the dance school, we've discovered a few students that are into making music and perhaps want to pursue that as a career, which instantly pricks my ears up. And I'm like, well, I know stuff about that. Like, talk to me about it. Seeing something in their eyes light up, like a potential dream could be coming to reality from just you helping them or
believing in them
or just giving them hope because you know what you're talking about. One of the most amazing feelings that I've ever experienced.
This is so new as well for you.
So new. It's not even something I was after. I wasn't even looking for it.
I have never seen such like everything I can think of saying is super, super cheesy, but I've never seen you light up as much as you did, passing on just a tiny little nugget of your knowledge to some of the kids at the school, or just
it is when I see them so excited by creating things.
Because do you kind of see a little bit of your younger self?
Yeah, 100%. But when I was younger, my parents aren't. Like, my dad is creative in a sense because he designs houses and he designs like interior design. He does all of that stuff. So he's creative in that sense. Mm-hmm. My mum's been always more into finances. So I didn't really have like a massive creative environment when I was younger. So I don't really know what it's like to have somebody know exactly what you're talking about. It's just the best, isn't it?
It is, honestly. As we're
like
talking
drugs.
about, it is.
It's like a shot to the brain. It's just like,
totally.
Oh my God, this is like made me feel alive.
Yes, there is just something so magical. It's magic when you see the absolute joy and passion in a younger person of what you do as a career. It's absolute magic. So is that what but
I think I genuinely now, this is what, made to create stuff, made to help people where I can, and also made to be the best dog dad ever.
Oh, you're a great dog dad.
I love her so much.
I know. Oh, our little Nala bear.
Yeah, so they're
that's
the
very
things.
sweet.
That's my life right now, and it's definitely changed though, because when I was younger, I would have said that teaching never would have wanted to be a teacher, and I mean I've always wanted to be a dog dad, so that's
If there was somebody listening who is also super, super interested in music production or anything that kind of goes hand in hand with that, the biggest piece of advice you could give?
I would say to kids these days, just work with what you've got.
Not just kids either.
Well, anyone that's looking to get into music, work with what you've got. Put out if you think it sounds good, get it out there, and then make the next one better. Don't try and force something that is never going to work. Otherwise, you'll never release anything.
Yeah.
You need to start putting stuff out there. We've all been blessed with the most incredible tools at our disposal. Social media and all these different websites and AI and all this amazing stuff. Use it. Sit down and use it.
So I know that one of the main reasons people would say that's not easy is because of like the backlash on social media and the negative side of it, which I know that you've dealt with.
Yeah, I have. But who gives a shit? And we're going to bleep these out because I know I keep dropping the odd S-bomb now and again, but who gives a shit? The people that give you crap online are not going to be there when you're successful. They're going to be doing their own thing. They will be doing their own thing. The only reason they're giving you crap online is because they wish they were doing what you're doing. You're putting yourself out there, and they're jealous that they're not putting themselves out there. So don't be a sheep. Just do what you want to do. It's really easy for me to say, I know, but I did go through it.
Yeah, you did.
I put stuff out there, and it got really, really bad reactions. Really bad. I remember being sat with you upstairs, and we were just like, this is bad.
This is so bad.
This is bad.
Look how mean everyone
I'm getting
is.
so much hate because
Yeah.
I'd worked with someone and they weren't used to seeing some little British kid.
Yeah,
Push through it.
Yeah.
And if I didn't, then I wouldn't be where I am now. You have to push through it.
Yeah.
Get past all the comments, and you're better off for it because you've grown a thicker skin. And comments online, unfortunately, that's just the world we live in. People are very sad and depressed and have nothing better to do than write horrible stuff online.
Yeah.
So you need to just know that you're better than them.
Preach, sister. That's good. I felt
Was it
the
good?
passion. I felt the fire.
I get really passionate about stuff like that.
It's good though.
Well, because it annoys me that so many, like a lot of the young people these days, they have all these amazing tools and they don't. They're too scared to use them. It'll be that odd person. It'll be that one person in 10,000 that decides, you know what? I am just going to post whatever I want.
Yeah.
And ignore all of the hate and just push through with my own hopes and dreams. And they will be the one that is successful.
Yeah, definitely.
Guarantee you that.
Yeah.
They might not even be the most talented, but because they're the ones that have put themselves out there and pushed through with that dream and that goal, they will be the most successful.
Well, hopefully some people listen to that. I think that's
Bloody hope
sound
so.
advice.
Sometimes I get into a bit of a haze and I don't even remember what I've just said.
It was great.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was really good. I felt the passion. Well, episode number 2, pilot number 2 comes to a close.
Now they've heard all about our rubbish.
Yeah.
We'll be back. We'll be back on our own again to
I'm sure
have
we
more
will.
stories to tell. There's a lot of stuff that I thought of as we were going through that I was like, oh, I could say that, but that feels a bit more... Because they're cool stories,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to make this too long. So
Totally.
We'll bring them back
I
in
think
another
that's a
episode.
nice way of introducing us to anybody who maybe doesn't know who we are or doesn't know the ins and outs of how we got to where we are. But the next episode will be with a guest to hear their story and find out what they were made for.
We've got a couple of people booked in, but we don't know who we're going to put out first yet.
We don't, but I'm very excited to
there's
just listen to people's stories and be inspired. You can follow us and all of that jazz.
Yeah, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, probably Facebook, probably Snapchat.
Snapchat. I don't know how to use Snapchat apart
Neither
from
do
the
I,
filters.
though.
What's the handle?
At What Was I Made For Pod.
And we said about if anyone wants to message in as well.
Email us, whatwasimadeforpod@gmail.com. But also, importantly, please leave us a 5-star review.
Oh, yeah.
Because that apparently is what boosts you up.
Yeah. And
the
apparently
charts.
we can't delete the bad reviews. So
please,
just don't leave them.
Please get yourself on iTunes. No. Is it iTunes?
I don't know. Where is this going?
Apple Music. They're the ones that you do.
We sound really, really clued up on all of this, by the way. This sounds...
This is a pilot.
Good luck editing all of this load of rubbish at the end.
Find out where to review us and review us.
So, in conclusion, email us something. Leave us a review somewhere. We promise the structure will get there.
That's going to have to be if we've got a guest in here. They're going to think this is a right, shambles if we don't.
I know, especially if our first guest is someone we don't know as well.
Right, see you in episode 3. Thanks for listening.
Bye. What Was I Made For is a Reynolds Studios production.